Good morning, television family. Good to see you again. It is the middle of the week. It's the middle of the month, 14th day of January, 2026. I put brand new AA batteries in my calendar, so now I can tell you it's Wednesday. And it's going to be pretty cloudy and pretty foggy. Sun's going to be taking, well, the day off. It'll start coming back a little bit tomorrow afternoon. By the time we get to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, bountiful sunshine. A lot of people have Monday off. It's MLK Day on Monday, federal holiday. Just a quick reminder there. It's also one of the bigger weekends at Mission Ridge. A lot of people will take Friday off. They have Monday off. They come over here and they strap on the old pieces of fiberglass and throw themselves down the side of a hill. More power to them. It's 36 degrees, lots of clouds. Forecast coming up again, cloudy and foggy today, considerably cooler than yesterday. We had 48. If you want sunshine and mild temperatures, and it's still going to be pretty mild today, we're going to be about 40. Go up. Stevens Pass is going to be mid-40s. You know, Mission Ridge at the summit, well above the cloud deck and the air inversion and the fog, and it'll be pushing 50 up there. All those details are coming up. We got news. We got sports. The Seahawk players met with the press yesterday as they're getting ready to take on the 49ers on Saturday night. We'll have some of that. Talk about prep action as well. We have that going on. And speaking of prep sports, we're talking college sports. Wenatchee Valley College has a new athletic director. They've had a lot of turnover in the administration of the athletic department at Wenatchee Valley College. Greg Sparling is the new guy. I think he's going to do a pretty good job. You're going to get to know Greg. It's the first of a two-part interview that our very own Eric Granstrom did with Mr. Sparling, the new athletic director at Wenatchee Valley College. Part one of that conversation will air in the back half of the program. It's 2 minutes after the hour on a Wednesday. Obviously, with the low clouds and fog, we're pretty limited to what we can show you from our PTZ cameras. The Wenatchee Heights camera is a no-go. It's there. It's operating. You can barely make out the cross in that shot there. But what's the point of showing you that when you can't see anything? So we're going to go to downtown Wenatchee to the roof of the Cascadian and take a look at beautiful downtown Wenatchee as the Widener apartment home complex gets bigger and bigger. I think March of next year is when they're going to start opening that up. And remember, that's going to be 6 stories high all the way across, a block long, and then there'll be a 7th story, which will be a smaller story, which is like a clubhouse and things like that. It's going to be nice. Folks in downtown are going to like that. Camera number 2 takes us to the Orondo Rock camera. You can see the reflection of the city lights off the fog, off in the distance from Wenatchee. You can see Turtle Rock. Orondo Rock is, this is one of our go-to cameras this time of the year when we have the inversion and we have the low clouds and fog, because all of the PTZ cameras are by definition pretty high up there. Insert your own joke here. Camera number 3, Hay Canyon. This is one of the few high cameras that's actually working this morning. The cameras are working, but at least we can see something from the Hay Canyon camera. Good morning to downtown Cashmere. By the way, Cashmere, there's a Dollar Tree store heading your way. We'll have more on that, I think, with the news tonight as well. And finally, let's check out across the street, Wenatchee City Hall. Good morning to those folks there, all lit up pretty nice. And I love the fact when they did all the big remodel, they put LED lights everywhere, so it takes up like no juice at all, but that gives them hundreds of different options to light up City Hall. They had it lit up in green and red for Christmas and all that cool stuff. It's pretty cool. I like that. Good morning to City Hall, directly across the street from our studios. Air stagnation, here we go again, and just a quick little reminder of what that is. Warm air up above acts as a lid. Cold air goes down, warm air goes up. You know how that works by now. And all the pollutants on the ground, carbon monoxide, whatever the case may be, goes up. It hits that lid like it would with a lid of a pan or a Dutch oven, and then it has no place to go. So the sunny and warm temperatures, you get to 3,600 feet, and above that, the temperatures will be a little bit warmer than down on the valley floor, and because we have the air inversion, the cold air is trapped under the warm air, and there's no place for it to go. But this isn't going to be a long-standing one. Normally, when we have air stagnation in January, it lasts for a very long time. There was, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, we had an air stagnation inversion layer that lasted weeks and weeks. We didn't see the sunshine. Just a little bitty one. It'll be gone, Johnson. Air stagnation advisory expires at 10 o'clock on Friday. 7-day forecast brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together after a high of 48 yesterday because we had some sunshine. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Only going to get to 40 today, and we're already at 36, so it's not going to get much warmer. And again, no sunshine today, and it'll be pretty cloudy tonight, 35 for the overnight low. Do it one more time on Thursday, late in the day on Thursday. We'll start seeing some mixing in the upper part of the atmosphere. It's the high pressure ridge is going to move out away from us. It's actually going to move out back over the Pacific Ocean and go north. That will allow some mixing in the upper elevations. It should scour out the skies by Thursday night. Friday morning, clouds. Friday afternoon, sunshine. The air inversion goes away, 43. And then look at this. Sunshine 44 Saturday, sunshine 44 Sunday, sunshine 43 for the holiday. A couple of clouds perhaps on Tuesday. There's an outside chance of a little bit of light snow, they tell us, late next week. We haven't had any snow down here either, for that matter. All right, that's the weather. In 2 minutes, the news. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Lots of clouds, lots of fog, 37 degrees. We're not going to be much warmer than that. Clouds and fog today, about 40, mostly cloudy and foggy on Thursday. Sunshine returns, lots of sunshine and very mild temperatures right through the holiday weekend. It's at 9 minutes after the hour following the resignation of Jason Hines before Monday's Eastmont School Board meeting. Well, that means the district needs candidates to fill the seat that he leaves behind. Hines represented Board District number 3. It's bounded on the north by 15th Street Northeast, on the south by 3rd and 4th Streets Southeast, and on the east by Kentucky Avenue. Applicants who live within that boundary, and you have to live within that boundary, you got to email the school board with a brief biography, your statement of interest, and related documents. And you have to do it by January 26th. The school board will then rank the nominees. The top 5 will be invited for an interview with the board on February 9th during the public meeting, and then the selected candidate will be announced that night and sworn in to office on February 23rd. Storm damage has made Chumstick Highway a crucial route between Leavenworth and Highway 2, but it's been getting a lot of traffic and it's suffering from the weather as well. Chelan County Public Works Director Eric Pearson says the slope of Beaver Hill above Chumstick at milepost 12 is saturated with water and suffering erosion, and now the landscape is beginning to work its way downhill towards that hairpin curve near Plains. So far, the slide is only affecting the shoulder of the road, but it's a rural county highway, and it's the only option for travelers to get around Highway 2 since the Tumwater Canyon west of Leavenworth is still closed and has been for over a month. The State Department of Transportation is in charge of Chumstick's maintenance while it's used as a detour, and Pearson says the DOT is now assessing the slide and operating a pilot car to get motorists around it. Travelers on Chumstick can expect longer delays as a result. Well, with the 2026 legislative session in full swing, a Grant County lawmaker wants to roll back taxes on specialty fuels, which he says are putting a pinch on farmers and transporters. State Representative Alex Ybarra of Quincy introduced a bill this week that would remove taxes that went into effect last year, the taxes on diesel, biodiesel, natural gas, propane, and butane. Diesel taxes went up in 2025 by 3 cents, and they're due to rise by 3 cents more in 2027. Ybarra is a 13th District Republican, and he proposes undoing both of those increases. His House bill is 2404, and it's been referred to the Transportation Committee for a possible hearing. The Washington Department of Natural Resources is coming to Wenatchee in February to host a listening session regarding wildfire hazard mapping. DNR is leading the development of a wildfire hazard and risk mapping initiative. It was outlined in legislation that was approved by the legislature in 2024. The project, which began last year, is meant to enhance wildfire preparedness by identifying at-risk areas and providing general hazard assessments. DNR will seek input from pretty much anybody, community members, local emergency managers, building code officials, fire marshals. During the sessions, DNR will present a draft version of the statewide wildfire map. They'll explain how it was developed and invite public feedback. All told, there's going to be 16 events statewide. The Wenatchee session will be on February 4th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Speaking of fires, Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue announced last week that Chief David Walker is going to retire come June. He's led the agency since 2020. While on the job, Walker helped refine training, established a seasonal firefighting program, and worked with Lake Wenatchee adapted communities to reduce risk around the greater Lake Wenatchee and Plain area. This is the second time Walker has retired from a top firefighting position. Before his tenure in Lake Wenatchee, he had already once retired from the city of Kirkland, where he retired as battalion chief after 29 years there. Walker's last day is June 1st. Chelan County's newly appointed coroner, Earl Crow, he oversees death investigations throughout Chelan County. He succeeds his former boss, Wayne Harris, who hired Crow as his chief deputy nearly 13 years ago. Now, Chelan County doesn't conduct its own autopsies. Instead, it holds agreements with 3 outside counties to carry out those postmortem exams. In Jefferson Robbins' recent interview, Coroner Crow told Jefferson that the Chelan County Commission recently approved a new agreement with Benton County that will pay them up to $2,500 for each autopsy.
It's kind of the same agreement that we have for King County, Pierce County, and Spokane. It gives our office another avenue to be able to get autopsies. What's great in my mind is the fact in wintertime, when the passes are closed and we can't get to King County, we can get to Tri-Cities. And it's the same cases where if we need an autopsy, we can go in 4 different directions now.
So if your office is handling a case, you would be doing the initial investigation, the processing, the handling of the deceased person's remains, but those remains would then be going to Benton County sometimes for actual autopsy.
Yep, actually for the physical autopsy, yes.
And it won't happen every time?
No, and we do get that question a lot, because you see on TV where every case there's an autopsy, and really it's about 10% of the cases may get an autopsy.
So I know that one thing that got underway during the previous coroner's term was the development of a facility on Omi Garden Road, a new county complex. And the coroner's offices are slated to have, I think your entire headquarters would be out there. Is that correct?
That's correct. And we've been working on that for 2 years. It's going to be a full facility. So we'll actually have a family room that we can meet with families. We'll have a training break room. Our offices will be upstairs. We'll have a separate room specifically for records. We will have an exam room because part of our job is also doing external exams. So if we don't order an autopsy, we'll view the decedent and do a diagram. So we'll have that space available. What's great about that is if we ever had another traveling pathologist, we could actually do autopsies here again. So, and then it'll have a secure property evidence room and a toxicology as well.
And I know, having visited your offices and the other facility that you use out in the old station area, space has been a real limiting factor for the coroner's office for quite some time.
It has been. We've been working out of that small, cooler area north of town, and then having to work out of funeral homes. And not only does this help us, it actually helps the funeral homes because that'll give them their spaces back. So,
when we're talking about, not to be too blunt about it, but storage.
Yes, yes. When we have to have people in refrigeration. Yep.
And I know that some of this was necessary in part because the way the state accredits coroner's offices changed in the last couple of years.
Yes. So it became law this past July that every office in the state needs to be accredited. That's something I've been pushing for. That was part of my budget. Coroner Harris allowed me to do the budget since he wouldn't be here. And there's things I put in because we're going to have to meet accreditation. There's 285 required standards. And once we start the process, it'll probably take about 10 months to be inspected. So this whole facility will meet all of those needs for accreditation.
Well, Earl, you're serving as coroner by appointment, and it's a politically appointed position and an elected position. Will you choose to run again in 2026?
Yes, absolutely. I've already announced that and did my public disclosure forms for that, yes.
Does coroner, with all of the very technical requirements of the job, does it really make sense as an elected position? And do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it makes sense to me as an elected position for the way that the voters get to select who their coroner is. If it was solely by appointment, then you're really, you're bound by 3 commissioners only. And that could be good or that could be bad. But I think it's important to be elected. My question has always been, why is it a partisan position? Because in my mind, if my loved one was found deceased, would I care if they were Democrat or Republican? And the answer is no. I want somebody that knows how to do the job.
The Wenatchee School District is hosting a couple of casual pop-in bus driver recruitment events this month. The district is in need of additional bus operators to fill openings and ensure that there are enough drivers available for the upcoming spring sports and field trip seasons. During the events, attendees can apply in person. You can meet other staff and bus drivers. You can even test drive a bus if you want. The district is offering $26.53 an hour for the jobs, and if you don't know how to drive a bus, they'll pay you to learn. The recruitment event is set for tomorrow and January 27th at the district's transportation department right next door to Wenatchee High School on Millardale. And in case you missed it last night, we had it right here for you on the NCWLIFE channel. We have now our Apple Blossom Top 10 finalists for the Royal Court. 6 seniors from Eastmont School District, 4 from the Wenatchee School District. Doing the honors, Catherine Ross from the Wenatchee Central Lions Club.
Just a reminder, the top 10 will be announced in no particular order. Elizabeth Nicholas. Melanie Tovar. Kaylee Pearsons. Darcy Jesse Meja Sanchez. Avery Anatomula. Abigail Walker. Brianna Machado. Parker Avery. Cameron Reynolds. Brielle Precht. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 top 10 candidates for the 107th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Everything's coming up blossoms.
Congratulations, ladies. And now a month long of stuff begins. Training, fittings, you name it. They do it. And 1 month from today, as a matter of fact, on Saturday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, will be the Royalty Selection Pageant presented by Cashmere Valley Bank. And yep, we'll be televising it, as we always have, right here on the NCWLIFE channel. You're in the loop of what's going on around here, and you can continue that practice, and we highly encourage that you do by watching tonight's news. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Stay in the loop of what's happening in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. If you are unplugged from traditional cable TV, and more people are doing that every day, our news will be on our YouTube page. Don't forget, we stream all the time on our homepage, ncwlife.com. We're on Roku. We're on the Amazon Fire Stick. We're on Apple TV. We're on Peacock. We're not on Peacock. I probably really shouldn't say that. We have an email address, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley, I hope, on the NCWLIFE channel.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, It's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Sports at 25 minutes after the hour. As of about an hour ago when I checked, the Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites to beat the 49ers Saturday night in the NFC divisional round of the playoffs. Of course, these two teams split their regular season matchups. And Ernest Jones IV, our linebacker, defensive tackle Jaron Reed, and offensive guard Gray Zabel all agree that the third matchup on Saturday at Lumen Field is not going to be like a regular season game.
I just expect it just to be a hard-fought game. I'm sure they have a couple things schemed up for us, but it's always been about our execution and how we play. So I think the same thing applies this time around. You can't you can't start worrying about. We are close. We're close to something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do. But if you start thinking about that game or that opportunity, you miss out on the good moments you'll have as you're going through this process. But ultimately, it takes one game at a time. We got to handle San Fran first, and then whoever they send next to us, so we can get to the ultimate goal.
I expect them to be who they are. We know what happened last game. We're expecting them to come out, try to attack us, and try to hit us with some new stuff. But, we're honing into our keys, and we're just here to play good football. We expect them to definitely try to run the ball more, but that's what we hone ourselves on as well, is stopping the run. Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the fans. I can't wait to get out there and just, feel the energy from the field. We need our 12s out there. We need them as loud as ever, trying to break the little sound meter. I think it topped at 109, man. We're trying to break it, to where it can't record it. We need it loud, man, so the dark side come alive, especially like we're going to a situation, death zone, just play our style of football.
Yeah, you got to expect there might change some things up, might bring a little more blitzes, might play certain formations differently. So at the end of the day, they're going to have a plan for us. They got a really good defensive coordinator that's going to have something schemed up for us, and we're going to maybe have to take one or two on the chin to understand what the game plan is going to be and continue to move forward. I mean, it stems from the coaches having an unbelievable game plan to be able to attack defenses at their weak spots. And then you got to give credit the tight ends, the wide receivers. They're blocking their asses off lately. Our running backs are unbelievable, making plays. So we're having a lot of fun the past 3 games, being able to run the ball so successfully. And if you want to be successful in the postseason, you got to be able to run the ball. So that's going to be the mindset moving forward. The only thing that changes is understanding it's a one-and-done type game. It's win or go home. So at the end of the day, you got to have the same routine, the same day-to-day prep, the same recovery, all that stuff. But kind of in the back of your head, it's that nightmare fuel of if we don't win this one, we're done for the season. And it's kumbaya, which I'm not ready for that. I don't think anyone in the locker room's ready for that. And we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure we're back in on Monday to the facility preparing for another game.
Hawks and 49ers, Lumen Field, Saturday afternoon. Check local listings. Well, you don't have to check local listings. It's on Fox. Go Hawks. Seattle Kraken's East Coast swing continues. They're in New Jersey to take on the Devils tonight. New Jersey is 11-8-2 in home games. They're 23-21-2 overall. And the Devils are 19-7-1 in games when they score at least 3 goals. Seattle has an 11-8-3 record in the road. They are 21-15-8 overall. The matchup today is the first meeting of the season between these two teams, and then Seattle heads to Boston to skate against the Bruins tomorrow night. Big game in Seattle tonight. The number 4 Michigan Wolverines in town. It's already sold out at Heck Evanson Pavilion and the Alaska Airlines Arena. The number 4th ranked Michigan Wolverines and the Huskies, 7:30 on the Big Ten Network. And the Washington Ladies are on the road. They'll be in Bloomington, Indiana to take on the Indiana Hoosiers at 4 o'clock this afternoon. You need Big Ten Plus to watch that. Prep Girls Scoreboard. Take a look at this. Gee, I think there were a lot of games last night. There are your winners and losers. A non-leaguer for Wenatchee, who beat Othello. Also winning last night, Zilla rolled over Kashmir in prep girls basketball. Chelan over Omak, Cascade over Lake Roosevelt. Quincy lost to Grandview. Prosser crushed Ephrata. Brewster crushed Manson. Liberty Bell crushed Bridgeport. A lot of blowouts yesterday. Tenaska took it on the chin from Okanagan. Pateras took care of Moses Lake Christian Covenant. Indiana over Orville, and Soap Lake over Wilson Creek. That's the girls. Now the boys. Not too many blowouts. Some pretty close games, actually, on the boys' side of things. Wenatchee did take care of Othello, and Zilla did crush Kashmir. But the rest of the games, actually, pretty close if you look at it. And a lot of high-scoring games. They score a lot of points. Zilla scored 93. Prosper scored 83. Liberty Bell 82. For high school boys basketball, that is a lot of points. Prep bowling scoreboard, Eastmont clinched the Big 9 championship. They beat West Valley in Yakima, swept them 4-0. Eisenhower defeated the Wenatchee Panthers at Eastmont Lanes yesterday. The final was 3-1. The bowling season is almost over, believe it or not. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 31 minutes after the hour. It is Cesarean section day today for those of you who entered this world via the window and not the door. It's Poetry at Work Day. It's National Shop for Travel Day. If you're going to take a trip, buy what you need today. National Dress Up Your Pet Day. I'm not going to go there. National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. It's Take the Stairs Day. I would, but we don't have any. Nope. Today we are going to organize our home. It's one of those New Year's resolutions, especially right after the holidays, because you will have accumulated more stuff after Christmas than you had before Christmas. So now it's time to organize your house. And of course, we're inside a lot more, and you take a look around and said, I got to get my house organized. I can't find the hammer, or I can't find whatever this is. So you end up with all that extra junk you accumulated over the holiday season. So today, have at it. Fun facts about organizing your home. If you live a long and healthy life, if you lived about 80, the guess is you would have spent 1 year of your entire life looking for something. That makes sense. About 80% of everything in our home we don't use regularly. Think about it. Oh, it's a bread maker. You stick it in the closet and you never do it again. It's been estimated that getting rid of household clutter, all the junk around your house that you don't use anymore, can reduce your house cleaning time by about 40%. And my favorite fact of all, most people only wear about 20% of the clothes that's in their closet. Makes you wonder what you're doing with the other 80%. Organize your home if you have a chance to do so today. It's 33 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the Revolutionary War is over, officially. On this date, it's Ratification Day. It was on this date in 1784. Now, keep in mind, that's the actual proclamation. Keep in mind the war itself had ended, a few months before. But finally, Congress ratified the Treaty of Paris with Great Britain. So Great Britain ratified it. We ratified it. The war is over. And then we would go to war with Great Britain again in 1812. Nothing lasts forever. But if the Revolutionary War has an official end date, it's today, January 14th, 1784. Happy birthday to the second highest rated morning show behind this program. The Today Show took to the air for the first time on January 14th, 1952 on NBC, 74 years ago today. Most media critics and television people said nobody's going to watch TV at 7 o'clock in the morning. Turns out they were wrong. The show was live on the East Coast for its first 7 or 8 years. Then Dave Garroway, the host, became ill, but they didn't want to get rid of Dave Garroway. So believe it or not, for about 2 years, the Today Show between 1959 and 1961 was taped the day before. They would tape the Today Show in the afternoon hours of the day before, then air it the next morning, and only the news and weather segments would be done live. Nobody liked it, and when Dave Garroway retired and John Chancellor took over the Today Show, they went back to live television. The Today Show is 74 years old today. You remember AMC, the American Motors Corporation? I'm old enough to remember. They started on this date in 1954. The Hudson Motor Car Company and the Nash Kelvinator Company realized if they don't get together, they're going to be just wiped out by GM, Ford, and Chrysler. So they got together to form American Motors, AMC, the Hornet, the Gremlin, the Pacer, the Ambassador. Every once in a while you'll see one around. The Rebel, the Matador, the Marlin, and the Eagle. What kept AMC going really, especially in the 1960s and throughout the 1970s, is that they had a sub area of their company that made automobiles specifically for law enforcement. Bigger suspension, better tires, more horsepower, and a lot of those cop cars that you would see in the 70s were AMC manufactured. That's what kind of kept them alive. Eventually, they went away. Chrysler bought them out in 1988. The old American, the old AMC. I remember AMC. Kind of cool cars. They're gone now. Super Bowls. Here we go. Super Bowl II. Super Bowl II in Miami. Green Bay defeats the Raiders. The final was 33-14. It was still officially the AFL-NFL championship game. This was the last game not officially known as a Super Bowl. No complete copy of the game exists from beginning to end, either from television or from NFL films. This game and the next Super Bowl are the only two Super Bowls that were played in the same stadium. They were both played in Miami, Super Bowl II and III. Vince Lombardi, of course, retired after the game, became the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, got bored, quit, and went to Washington to coach that team before he died. Super Bowl II in Miami on this date in 1968. Super Bowl VII. Super Bowl VII on this date in 1973. This is the first Super Bowl I remember actually watching on TV. The Dolphins beat Washington 14-7 to complete the only undefeated season in NFL history. Miami is the only Super Bowl champion to date to win the big game without scoring in the second half. It was 84 degrees in LA at kickoff. It makes it the warmest Super Bowl ever. This was the first Super Bowl, believe it or not, to be televised in the city where it was being played. The NFL, before Super Bowl VII, had unconditional blackout rules. Basically, it was not televised in the city where it was being played, whether all the tickets were sold or not. Sam Yorty, the mayor of Los Angeles, threatened to sue the NFL. He said, Super Bowl VII's a sellout. Why can't the people in my hometown of LA watch the game on TV? They lifted it, and they've lifted it ever since. And as Don Shula, head coach of the Miami Dolphins, was being carried off the field by his players, an overenthusiastic fan shook Don Shula's hand and stole his watch. Don Shula hopped off the shoulder of the players, chased the kid down, and got his watch back. Super Bowl VII on this date in 1973. Birthdays. Faye Dunaway. She has an Academy Award, of course, Best Actress for Network, one of my favorite movies. She broke out in Bonnie and Clyde. She played Bonnie. Chinatown. She was great in Chinatown, The Towering Inferno, Mommy Dearest. She hasn't really done much of anything lately, but she's 85. She doesn't have to. And happy 57th to Dave Grohl. Like a lot of very famous musicians, Paul McCartney and Bob Dylan jump immediately to mind. Dave Grohl can't read sheet music. He can't read or write music on paper. He plays it by ear. Of course, he was the drummer with Nirvana, then the guitarist with the Foo Fighters, and he is the third richest drummer of all time. Ringo, #1, Phil Collins, #2. Dave Grohl is 57 years old today, and he's a two-time inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. There's their brand new logo. You got to change things up every now and again. They did so, but the company is still Alpine Air. Their reputation is intact. Thank you, Alpine Air, for being our platinum sponsor. Going to take a break. Mike McKnight has got an opinion. I forgot what it's about because I put it in the system yesterday, and I'm not very smart. And then part one of a two-part interview that Eric Granstrom, our sports director, did with the brand new athletic director at Wenatchee Valley College. He's a good guy. His name is Greg Starling. You'll get to meet Greg when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion now. Now, some of my cop buddies have retired and they moved to Florida. Good for them, I'll salute. As much as I don't like the winters here, though, I'd have worse problems with the other issues that come about with enjoying a Floridian paradise. I recently read a quote from one of my favorite authors, Scott Turow, who commented about those who escape to Florida to get away from the financial and political stuff they don't like up north. Turow said that with swamps and alligators inland and the gated communities and shopping malls in the traffic-clotted towns along the coast, Florida seems like a great penal colony for America's elderly who have been blinded by the sun and do not realize they are actually in hell. Yep. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure, on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Eric Granstrom with you, and we're joining our new athletic director here at Wenatchee Valley College,
Greg Sparling, who comes, anybody who's been in Central Washington for a while may have run across this guy's name. He's got a lot of success down at Central, most recently up in Alaska, and finds himself here. Greg, first of all, welcome, and
thank you.
welcome to Wenatchee.
No, thank you. I know Wenatchee very well. My brother and his wife have been here for 30 years. My niece is up at Bridgeport. Her husband is the principal up there, and so I know the Valley very well. I've got a lot of former players here, so I'm happy to be back.
Now, you have a coaching background up until doing the AD job now. Tell us about the switch from going from coach to AD.
Well, coaching's a lot of, unofficial AD, you do all your travel and all that. But now you deal with the day-to-day operations. You deal with the facilities, the rentals, the training room to the media, like we're here. It's just a whole bigger ball of wax than just, everybody says just coaching, but it's the whole business aspect of a college program.
With your time at Central, I see the community college ranks, especially Wenatchee Valley College, since this is where we're at, as being a feeder ground for schools like yours when you were coaching at Central. Is that the case?
Yeah, I recruited here. I actually, when I was the JV coach, my second game was sitting over here on the bench, and I coached here, and then I gave thousands of dollars out in scholarships, and we've given hundreds of opportunities from the community college level, because that's where I started Highline. And if they don't go Division I, we try to get them to come down. And Central was centrally located, so people from the I-5 corridor could come over, or from up here could come down.
Interesting that you had that path yourself, out of Juanita High School and then go to Highline and then end up at Central and have a great career at Central. So it's, I guess, helpful for you because you've walked the walk to talk the talk.
I have. I mean, I went to Highline College. I had 3 or 4, offers from different junior colleges. I ended up going there. It was a great experience because, there, coming out of high school, there's not a principal or a vice principal keeping an eye on you. You're on your own. Your coach is, pushing you in the classroom, but also you got so much free time. And that's one thing, I talk to the coaches here, is make sure we are talking about time management with our student athletes, and do what you need to do. Make sure you're academically eligible if you want to move on. Make sure you're taking the right classes. Make sure you are doing the right things on social media. I mean, there's a lot of teaching for young student athletes that are coming into a college environment.
So as you come in, you have familiarity, as you mentioned, with Wenatchee Valley College, but what's your perspective on WVC?
Well, perspective is it's we need to grow the population. Our athletic department, we have seven sports here, and I don't think it's going to grow, and I don't think it's a decline. But with those 7 sports, we got to give them the best opportunity to succeed in the classroom. One thing I was challenged with is getting our student athletes more out in the community, and that's one thing we're going to do. If people reach out and say, hey, we got this event, if we can be there, we're going to be there. Also, the campus, we need to get more involved in the campus, and we're going to do it. Again, we've got 6 or 7 student athletes in student government, and at Central, I don't think we had any student athletes in student government, but it's a voice for us down on the lower campus. But I think in the long run, it's educating our young student athletes, and also we got a bunch of young coaches on staff that I can help mentor and give them ideas of how to get their student athletes moving on to the next level.
I'm lucky enough to have a background working in the media and side by side with former athletic directors here at Wenatchee Valley College, and Sandy Cooprider and Greg Franz, and the most recent experience has been kind of mixed. It's they've had kind of a revolving door here as far as not just in the administration, but also in coaching and everything else. And I think that you can look at the records of the programs and go, man, okay, that hasn't helped things. I'm sure that, I know that Sandy and Greg were part of the committee to help hire you and bring you here to Wenatchee Valley College. I'm sure I imagine that you're informed about those types of things.
Yeah, they're helping me day by day. I mean, they're helping me, navigate the college, but also helping me try to find, resources outside to bring back the community, bring back the financial support, bring back the boosters, bring back people to come into Smith Gym and enjoy it. I mean, I remember when I was a JV coach here, that whole bleachers behind us back there were full, and we want to get back to that. We want to invite local high schools, AAU. They looked at me like in my interview like I was crazy. I said, I want to get a pep band here for at least one game and give the kids that experience. But Greg and Sandy, I'll tell you, and also Braden Dragoo, if they weren't involved in the equation, I'm not sure I'd take this job. But I believe with their support and everybody on campus, from President Harrison to Dr. Garza and everybody along the way, I think we can get this thing going again. I don't want it to be a revolving door. I want stability for our young coaches. I want stability for the student athletes. I want stability for the college.
I asked Sandy before the interview, he knew I was coming in today to talk to you, and I said, okay, what kind of questions should I ask Greg when we sit down and talk? And his text message back was money, 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 money.
Yes.
That's the biggest challenge you have, right?
It's a huge challenge, and I think it's in higher education and community colleges. The first thing to get cut in budgets is athletics, and that was at Central and at Fairbanks, especially here. When we took a pretty good haircut, and now we got to find the resources just to get to the basic needs, to the travel, to the feed of the student athletes, to their scholarships, to their gears, to the referees, to the new nets we need to put up. It's just the basic needs. But with the funding cutting, it's hard, and we're open for corporate sponsorship. They've taken down all the banners over here of all the corporate sponsors, and we want to get this place to feel like their hometown, and they're invested in it, and they're more than welcome to come on up. I can show them around the campus. I can show them around the gym and show them our vision. I mean, we're building it daily. It's not going to happen overnight, but with Sandy and Greg and Braden, I think we're on the right path.
Is it a challenge for community colleges way more so than the four-year schools? I went to a four-year school, and everybody seemed to be tied into the athletics no matter what it was.
Yes.
They knew what was going on. They knew there was a game on Friday or Saturday or Wednesday or whenever it was. With a community college, I mean, the nature of the school is that it's kind of a transient population. Yep. They're here, they do their schooling, and they're off campus, and that's it. There's athletics going on over on this side of the property. Is that the case?
I think it is, but we've got to get out and get our story told. I mean, and get students coming up this way. The classrooms are majority down on the far end of campus, and we're going to do a better job of putting sandwich boards out. And then I've challenged our student athletes to talk to students in their classes and say, hey, come on up. I know you're driving home tonight or whatever. You're going back to your dorm or you're going to your apartment. Come on back and see what we have to offer. And our student athletes are our biggest advocates. I mean, they're recruiting for the college. They're recruiting other student athletes. I mean, they're on social media. Hopefully it's all positive. And we're making sure we're telling our story. And our story is Wenatchee is a beautiful place. We're in the center of the state. We have a lot to offer. You get technical school, you got the nursing, like I said earlier, you got business, you got everything you need here. But we just got to make sure we tell our story, especially in athletics. And I think athletics has a lot of room for growth. And is it going to happen overnight? No, it's going to be baby steps. But 365 days, hopefully we took a big step. And then 365 days after that, we get bigger. But we want to build that trust with the community to come back up to the college and also into the athletic department.
With that building and that trying to establish that reputation, reestablish that reputation, yep. Is that sometimes as simple as wins and losses? I mean, that's not simple, but
no, it plays a factor into it. But I think also, you got to understand is we got to make sure our coaches are fully funded with scholarships. We got to make sure our coaches, have the resource to put the nice gear on the student. I'm not saying head to toe with 15 different outfits, but let's make sure, because they're. I call them race cars. They go back to their communities, they go back to their family reunions, and they have Wenatchee Valley College across their chest. They're going to be going back to their high schools, and they're the ones going to bring potential students and also student athletes to us. And I've seen studies here that one normal student comes with every student athlete, but I've also seen up to 2.3. I mean, you do that, all of a sudden the population of the student body, and hopefully back here the crowd starts growing daily.
Numbers I saw online, which are old, about 5-6 years old, there's about 2,000 students enrolled at Wenatchee Valley College, and with your 7 programs, I think that's 140 student athletes, something like that. I mean, you have better knowledge of the numbers. That's a lot of athletes trying to go to school and trying to get their education, and then also try to compete. And you got coaching staffs 2 to 3 per program. But you're not dealing with a lot of money to be able to help that, are you? No, I mean, our coaches are under stipends. I mean, not too many community colleges are on full, but we'd like to try to get all our coaches back on campus, and that way our student athletes have access to them, throughout the day. I mean, I think with, our coaches working off campus, our students aren't truly getting the student athlete experience, and that's something down the road. But I'd love to get them all back on campus, so that way if they do have an issue or they do have a question, they can go talk to the coach. And my door's always open, but I'm fresh. I'm 1 month in, and
I build the trust and the rapport with the student athletes, it's going to be a day-to-day operation.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Clouds and fog, quite prevalent and pretty darn dense too, kind of like right between my ears. It's 36 degrees. We're not going to get much warmer than that. Complete forecast details are coming up, but we're going to be socked in like this for a couple of days. The weekend looks good. But if you'll indulge me in a little shop talk, it's been a busy week for us. Of course, we spent yesterday all day at the America Performing Arts Center for Apple Blossom royalty stuff. And we go right back to work again tomorrow. We'll be at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium for wrestling, as the Wenatchee Panthers, the much improved Wenatchee Panther wrestling team, will take on the traditional power of the Moses Lake Mavericks. The girls will start at 6 o'clock, the boys to follow shortly thereafter. We will have it for you right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Will be streaming on our Facebook page. So boys wrestling tomorrow. And then Saturday afternoon, talk about your bad timing, but when we do these schedules, we don't know when the Seahawks are going to play. So if you're not interested in watching the Seahawks, but you want to watch high school basketball, please do. We'll be at the Eastmont High School Gymnasium on Saturday afternoon. The girls will tip off at 4:30, the boys at 6 o'clock in a doubleheader. It's good to see those two teams playing again. So again, wrestling at Wenatchee High School tomorrow night, starting at 6 with the girls, the boys wrestlers after that, and then we'll be at the Eastmont High School Gymnasium on Saturday afternoon for the girls, boys doubleheader. Well, it's typical January weather finally, except the temperature. It's still going to be very mild indeed. We do have an air inversion alert, air stagnation advisory, if you will, that is set to expire at Friday morning at 10 a.m. So we're going to have this, what we have right now, pretty much for the rest of the day today. We're at 36 now. We're not going to get much warmer than that. 40 for the afternoon high. Keep in mind our normal high is 33, which is actually going to be our overnight low. We're going to do it again on Thursday. Late in the day on Thursday, we're going to start seeing a little action as that big ridge of high pressure, which has been dominating our weather for the last 4 or 5 days, it's going to move back out over the Pacific Ocean and move up over British Columbia and Vancouver Island, which means it's going to finally start mixing all that air at the upper elevations. It's going to scour out the skies. This is going to happen late Thursday and then overnight. So Friday morning, it'll still be cloudy and foggy, we think. But by Friday afternoon, we'll start seeing a few sun breaks, and with the days getting longer, we're gaining about 2 minutes of daylight each day. That means it's going to be a little bit warmer. on Friday with a high of 43. Clear skies Friday night. It's going to cool us down to 30 for the overnight low. Still warm for this time of the year. And then bountiful sunshine Saturday and a high of 44. Bountiful sunshine Sunday and a high of 44. We do it all over again for Martin Luther King Jr. Day with the overnight lows and the afternoon highs well above normal. There is no snow at all. No precipitation at all of any kind in the forecast through at least Tuesday of next week, but they tell us late next week we could in fact see some precipitation. Of what kind, we don't know. Have a good and safe Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.